Food service on Intrepid was usually pretty routine, except when it wasn't. Men who worked in food service talk about some culinary adventures.
One time, we received from a vertical rep while we were online, not in port. We get a couple of pallets of rabbit parts, and we didn't have any rabbit on the menu anywhere. And Chief Harrison was from Texas, and he says, "Well, we eat rabbit a lot in Texas." He says, "I know what we can do. We'll make a rabbit dish, and we will make it like it's a big deal." So we have rabbit on the menu. We put stars around the menu item, the rabbit, and we're hawking rabbit at the serving line and so forth. But hardly anybody ate rabbit. We only got rid of maybe a tenth of the rabbit that we had in our refrigerators and the freezers. So then we figured out, I guess it was Chief Dunlap, the senior chief. He says, "You know what we ought to do?" He said, "Let's mix it with chicken and fry it. See what happens." Well, Chief French says, "But they don't even look alike. You know, the bones are too long and in the legs and all of this kind of stuff." Well, we did that, and the people loved the fried chicken. They loved it so much that we made a second batch of fried chicken at the first evening meal, and they ate all of that too, because they wanted to come back for seconds for fried chicken. We served that fried chicken with rabbit mixed in about 3 different times before we finally depleted the rabbit in the refrigerators. And the only adverse comment we got about it was one of the sailors said, "You know, this chicken has funny bones." And that was it. Nothing he didn't like. He liked the taste. They liked it all. And I would never have thought that rabbit would even taste like chicken. But then I guess they say everything tastes like chicken, right?
There was a NAE award that was given every year to the best food service officer worldwide. And so we started entering that competition, and we'd have people from different officers come aboard and inspect the mess decks at various things. And as we got closer to the finals in that, and we were competing on the semifinal level, and it was really looking like we were going to have a good chance of winning this thing. Again, I went to Chief Dunlap, who really was the career Navy senior chief petty officer for the whole division. I said, "I can't think of anything else we can do to up what we've been doing in all these other inspections except," and he kind of looked at me, and I said, "Do you know how to do ice carvings?" And he said, "Are you kidding me?" "No." And I said, "Well, neither do I. I'll see you in the refrigerator in about a half hour." So we went down and we got these great big blocks of ice and started doing ice carvings. And neither one of us had ever done anything like that. And I started to do one that was going to be very challenging. It was going to be a swan with this elegant neck. And I thought, this elegant neck is going to melt before this inspection takes place. I can't get that elegant to get it down to where it's looked. So I got this awful form that I've now started in the main part of the sculpture. So the only thing I could think of to do was turn the whole thing around. It became a great big fat squirrel's tail. And then the squirrel was sitting there holding this tray in ice, and we put all kinds of nuts inside the tray, and we had it at one end of the food line, and people could scoop out some nuts as part of their meal or whatever. And Chief Dunlap built this huge ship with a great big triangular sail on it, and the gunnels were lined with shrimp cocktail, and so we had all that there. And so when the inspectors came and saw ice carvings at the end of the line, they really shook their heads and said, "Whoa, this is incredible." So we had a good final inspection, and then we ended up winning the very best among large ships afloat anywhere in the world.